Majo John Madden about an hour later sitting on my same sitting rock here, which fits my butt like it had been, we took a print for it somewhere back in geological time. Feels wonderful, feels like a throne as I look out at these huge relics of geological time and arboreal time. Look at these trees. I probably will resist learning what kind they are, but they are quite stunning. I spent that hour doing my preparations for the night of camping in the way I do. Not in a straight line, not in any way that feels like work. I just let life take me to this. Oh, okay, we'll make this drink, and we'll put batteries in that flashlight, and we'll find that food. And the thing I never did manage to do was to find my DEET insect repellent. We're taking it straight. Looking those mosquitoes right in the eye tonight. I think that's a minor thing. Look at that cliff. Look at the way that climbs. We are really in a geological. Someone will be able to explain how this all got formed here. It sure ain't flat. And the things in Texas that pleased me because they did not seem flat. The arroyos around Harlingen where the river had carved bowls. Things like that have been enormously wonderful, but this is like so over the top. And my doggy, I don't know if my chattering annoyed him because he was laying out right here the whole time. And the ride had stressed him out an awful lot, and I think he was happy just to lay here. And I bet he won't sleep all night in the van. I bet he'll be in and out of the van tonight. And there has been actually a lot of traffic. It does not feel like Appalachian mountain wilderness because, it's true in Appalachia that people enjoy the outdoors in a much fuller way than city folks do. It's obvious that the Mexicans enjoy this spectacular spot, and they do it a lot through three-wheelers and motor scooters and pickup trucks with Mexican music playing. I find it all a happy thing rather than in any way disconcerting. I sure know that none of them are going to have Trump flags or Go Brandon or Fuck Biden flags like the Rubes up on Crystal Beach north of Galveston in South Texas by the Gulf. Those guys scared me. I realized, shit, I don't feel safe here. These folks, I bet we have a much more solid values base than them folks. So it's rugged terrain, but I have an uncanny knack for walking on rugged terrain. A lot of that was formed the winter of 22 when January and February we stayed at Becky's place up in Spruce Pine, her 500-acre horse farm. And even what looked like grass was all very knobby. And I've commented several times since that my ankles learned how to roll. Not a typical 76-year-old like, oh my God, my osteoporosis, my ankles are going to snap. No, somehow I know how to do all this. Although this one's a little tricky. These trees, oh my God. I have to give them names as if that would make a difference to them. It'd be very touching to them, I bet. I've got some real momentum here. So for my whole time on the road, since my path is the low road to higher consciousness, and it has to do with going through the dark stuff. It's one of the books that I've never read, but I feel like informs me, and someday I will. Stumbling Towards Enlightenment. Back in Nashville, long before I woke up, I used a byline on my business card for the coaching I wanted to offer that said, unraveling spiritual pretensions, because the Asheville area is so full of high road folks who meditate really hard and do great diets, and they're little soldiers trying to find God. That's not, I found a lot of that very annoying. A lot less of that here. I'm not going to run into, not much pretension from Latino folks. You just don't get that. And I've got the sound of the stream. All through that first year, it was the sound of the streams that more than anything else brought me back to God. Invited my mind to get calm, empty. And that whole hour I was preparing for darkness, my mind was very quiet. I wasn't thinking about this or that. I wasn't preparing a talk. I wasn't saying, what are you going to say on that tape? Although some of what I'm saying here actually had rolled through my mind, but not in any kind of a doing way, just rolled through. And the little puppy is up. But no, it should not be surprising that right now that van is his comfort zone. That's his home. And he really resisted me pulling him out of there. He did not want to go, and finally I stopped trying to push the river. It's where he wants to be right now. But he also did a whole lot of walking today and did great when he was out of there. He just wanted, he's 3 days with me. He wants his safe space. And he's got a couple of caves. He's got the underground of the van, the little spaces, like when my son was little, they'd make caves. Spaces that were great for little people. It's partly because the big people couldn't fit there. Okay, maybe I'll give us all a chance to just listen to the stream. I've heard a couple of birds out here that I've never heard before. I have no idea what they were. Big, bold calls. And kingfishers, which were awful big for us with the mountain streams. Up in Appalachia, more kingfishers than I ever experienced in my life. The fabulous little birds that swoop low over the streams and dive down to snag fish. It's going to be amazing to explore this area in the morning. All you friends up in the Asheville area, I hope you're getting out to those streams. They're coming alive now. One of my big anniversaries, the last tape I talked a lot about anniversaries. It was the first or second week of April was the time out in the mountains staying at Petula's place, that after 3 days of rain, the woods exploded into green. And I said to Petula, wow, it was deafening today. And she, who was a little white witch with her enchanted garden and her magic woods she wouldn't even let me walk in, said, oh, you got it. Today was the day. 3 weeks earlier, I might not have gotten it. It might not have shocked me into silence the way it did. Her magic woods had a really enchanted mountain stream, and when I asked her if I could go back there, she said, you've gotten a lot more silent, but you're still not ready for it. And when I left, I said, how about now? Would you take me for a walk in your woods and let me walk by your enchanted stream? And she said, you'll find your own. You will. And now I've found many like this, but not for a long time. Macho John Madden, bye.